Injuries in car wrecks can be devastating. On top of that, insurance companies will try to get you to settle too fast and for too little. I'm Henry Queener, and I've helped thousands of car wreck victims get the compensation they deserve. There's a reason why our clients are happy with the outcome of their cases. Don't settle for less. Let Queener Law work for you. Small town office, big city experience. QueenerLaw.com.
We love food. It's our thing. You'll notice it all over the store, like how our certified butchers stamp the time your meat was ground, not just the day. Nobody does food like Food City. This week, save on fresh family pack chicken breast tenders, $2.99 a pound. Mix or match blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, or strawberries, 3 for $10. Green Mountain or McCafe coffee, $5.99, and more.
Value every day, Food City.
Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, were warning signs missed before a 6-year-old allegedly shot his teacher? We have more on the accusations from the teacher's attorney, plus how the Virginia School Board is responding.
And President Joe Biden says his economic policies are working, but Republicans say the president is spending too much money.
As the weather roller coaster stands, we're near the bottom right now with snow showers, but we're climbing that hill back to above average temperatures soon. Very latest on the way as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Olivia Calfee. Snow is starting to move out of the bluegrass, and it looks like it'll stay like that for the next few days.
That's some good news. It's going to be cold tonight, though. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Hatter for the latest on this First Alert Weather Day. Evan.
That's right, guys. The clouds have been in place today. They've kept it from getting too much warmer out there. You see we're back now to freezing out along the Mountain Parkway at Slade. And for the most part, we're dry. That's a good sign, which means we won't see much in the way of refreezing overnight because we are going to be down into the 20s as we head later on. View from downtown Whitesburg, it's all quiet, at least at this point. Temperatures are still much cooler than this time yesterday. 15 degrees cooler here in Hazard. As a matter of fact, 20 degrees cooler in parts of the Big Sandy. So the cooler air continues. Winds, yeah, they're there, but they're not dramatic like they were yesterday. We will continue to see, though, occasional gusts, 10, 15, 20 miles per hour through the evening hours around the region. A few snow showers still hanging out in parts of Pike County into southwest Virginia. But other than that, outside of a few flurries, we're starting to move the snow showers on out. You see that loop over the last few hours. So I think we're calming things down as we head through the next little bit. For tonight, we're down into 27 for a low tonight with those winds calming down at least a little bit. And we'll try to clear out as we head towards daybreak. In just a few minutes, guys, I'll have the very latest details on when we go back above normal and see some rain showers move back in. That's in a few minutes.
Thank you, Evan. A teacher in Virginia who was shot by a 6-year-old student earlier this month now says administrators failed to act. Despite 3 warnings, the child might have had a gun.
Abigail Warner, who was shot in the chest, intends to file a lawsuit against the Newport News School District in the coming days.
CBS's Jerika Duncan reports from New York.
This should have never happened. It was preventable.
Attorney Diane Toscano represents shooting victim Abby Zwerner. Toscano said school personnel, quote, could not be bothered to act even after several warnings about the 6-year-old shooter. And she outlined hours of alleged inaction before the child fired at Zwerner. Around 11:15 a.m., she said Zwerner told an administrator that the student threatened to beat up another child, but the 6-year-old was not removed from the class. At 12:30 p.m., Toscano said another teacher told an administrator she'd searched the child's backpack after suspecting he had a gun, but she found no weapon and worried that he'd put the firearm in his pocket. Toscano said the administrator downplayed that possibility by replying, well, he has little pockets. Around 30 minutes later, Toscano said a third teacher told an administrator that a student claimed the suspect had showed him a gun during recess and threatened to shoot him if he told anyone. Yet again, Toscano said, nothing was done. She also alleged that when another school employee asked to search the boy, he was turned down.
He was told to wait the situation out because the school day was almost over. Let that sink in.
Roughly an hour later, Toscano said the 6-year-old fired at Zwerner, who has since been discharged from the hospital and is continuing her recovery.
Abby Zwerner was shot in front of those horrified kids, and this school and community are living the nightmare. All because the school administration failed to act.
A spokesperson for the school district declined to comment on those allegations and did not respond to our request for the details of the school's protocol for reporting incidents like this one to police. Now, local authorities say they did not receive a call about a possible weapon at Rich Neck Elementary until after the shooting happened. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, New York.
The school's assistant principal resigned yesterday and facing both intense scrutiny and pending legal action. The school board voted last night to remove the superintendent. The school has been closed since the January 6th shooting, but is scheduled to reopen next week.
Elaine Chao, Donald Trump's transportation secretary, is responding to the former president's latest racial slur against her. It comes after Trump posted on social media Monday using a racist nickname to attack his former cabinet member and slamming her husband, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Yesterday, Chao responded, telling the Washington Post and Politico in a statement that Trump's comments, quote, say a whole lot more about him than it will ever say about Asian Americans. Chao resigned from the Trump administration in the wake of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
Scammers apparently hacked employees of at least 2 U.S. agencies last year. This is according to an advisory from the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, the National Security Agency, and a threat-sharing Center for State and Local Governments. They sent the alert out yesterday, revealing cyber criminals posed as tech support to get at least one federal employee to visit a malicious website. Officials say it is not clear if the fraud worked, but they say a scam is part of a widespread campaign that has hit both private sector and government agencies.
More than a third of Americans rent their homes. Now the Biden administration is aiming to protect renters with a multi-agency approach. The Federal Housing Finance Agency will look into potential limits on rent hikes, while the Housing Department will work on rental assistance properties and public housing. It will propose giving people who miss a rent payment at those places 30 days notice before ending their leases. Other agencies will focus on background check methods and credit report accuracy. The White House outlines its guiding principles in what's being called a blueprint for a renter's Bill of Rights. President Biden visited a union hall in Virginia to make the case that his economic policies are working.
The speech sounded more like a campaign address than an economic one, and Republicans are hitting back just as hard on the economy.
CBS's Nicole D'Antonio has more from Capitol Hill.
President Biden praised his economic policies, pointing out that the U.S. economy grew at a faster pace in the fourth quarter than analysts expected.
I'm not sure, and I mean it sincerely, the news could have been any better.
The president said legislation passed during his first 2 years in office laid the groundwork to bring the economy out of the pandemic.
Jobs are the highest in American number and the highest in American history. And wages are up, and they're growing faster than inflation.
Biden policies completely cancel out the supposed deficit savings from the massive climate bill.
Republicans say President and congressional Democrats are spending too much money, and they're promising to rein in the spending now that they control the House of Representatives.
Our economy continues to be weighted down with ever larger regulatory burdens. While Americans grapple with 40-year high inflation due to the Biden administration's failed policies,
they say they intend to block efforts to raise the debt ceiling unless the president agrees to spending cuts.
They're actually threatening to have us default on the American debt, a debt that's been accumulated over 230 years, okay? And the interest on that debt, we've never, ever done that.
Here's the leader of the free world pounding on a table, being irresponsible, saying, no, just raise the limit, make us spend more. No.
President Biden pledged to veto proposed GOP economic bills, including a plan to replace income taxes with a 30% national sales tax. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, the White House.
Most House Republicans, including Speaker McCarthy, say they are opposed to the sales tax plan. However, he did agree to allow a vote on the bill as part of the negotiations to win the House Speaker race. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, trying to improve your credit in the new year? We debunk some of the common myths around credit scores as you work to boost yours.
And we're keeping it cold for now around the region, but mild weather not too far away. Excuse me. Latest coming up after this.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT News app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.
There's a predator lurking in Kentucky. It destroys families and puts kids at risk. It's called gray machine gambling. These illegal games are spreading like wildfire and could bring dangerous side effects to your neighborhood next. Violence, organized crime, money laundering, robberies. We need Kentucky legislators to act. Visit StopIllegalGamblingKY.com to join the fight. With your help, we can stop gray machine gambling now. Kentuckians Against Illegal Gambling is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Addiction took everything from me. My life was nothing to be proud of. I was always away from home, doing drugs, constantly sick, or trying to figure out how I was going to get my next fix. But I was made to be more than this. I was made to have freedom. I was made to be home.
Injuries in car wrecks can be devastating. On top of that, insurance companies will try to get you to settle too fast and for too little. I'm Henry Queener, and I've helped thousands of car wreck victims get the compensation they deserve. There's a reason why our clients are happy with the outcome of their cases. Don't settle for less. Let Queener Law work for you. Small town office, big city experience. QueenerLaw.com.
Just like your fingerprint, your heartbeat is unique to you. And that's how your heart care should be too. So at Baptist Health, we focus on your specific cardiac needs, from preventive care to some of the most advanced procedures. For your one-of-a-kind heart, choose the one hospital system more people trust for their heart care. Baptist Health. It's heart care centered on you.
Our first alert weather day continues as we watch scattered snow showers and snow squalls push through the mountains this evening. Here's a look from downtown Pikeville, where about an hour ago we had one of those squalls moving through. It's moved south now, but it's still chilly. 34 at the moment from our Pikeville Medical Center camera. Many of us starting to drop into those lower 30s, still middle and upper 30s in parts of the Cumberland Valley. And you see the cold air continues working on into the region. It's 38 Nashville, 34 Louisville, and 26 up in Indianapolis. So the chilly air continues to push into the region thanks to westerly winds. These are current gusts, 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, so the possibility for a little bit of a breezy evening continues. It's not nearly as bad as last night. That will continue. We gusted at times today 20 to 30 miles per hour, and those wind gusts will continue to diminish as we head a little bit later on through tonight. Starting to move those snow showers out of the Commonwealth now into another Commonwealth into portions of Southwest Virginia as we continue to see some flurries elsewhere. The focus continues to be on portions of Pike County into northern parts now of Dickinson County, this is Buchanan County, northern Buchanan County, seeing a heavy burst of snow there. That's south of Elkhorn City, just across the state line, further to the south and west, especially in our highest elevations, top of Pine Mountain, top of Black Mountain, south of Eola, right along the Letcher and Wise County line, south of Cumberland, west of Lynch as well, seeing a few of those flurries to snow showers out there. That's the only place they would accumulate would be above 2,000 feet and really above 3,000 feet in many cases. Back edge of the clouds starting to work into West Kentucky with the last of those few showers working on through. So I think we're going to diminish those chances for scattered snow showers as we head through tonight. You see by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, yes, a few flurries, not out of the question. Excuse me, but however, you see we're starting to clear things out to our west in the morning. That finally works on through during the day. We've got sunshine with a few passing clouds into the afternoon, and the sun sets and we're quiet heading into tomorrow night. Going zone by zone, most of us low to mid-40s tomorrow. So a boost from today for the most part, outside of this collection of 41-degree highs in parts of Harlan, Bell, and Lee counties. We'll continue to see those temperatures boost a little bit into the day tomorrow, at least compared to where they were today. Low to mid-40s out there in the Kentucky River Valley, and same thing in the Big Sandy, where many of us check in between 41 and 43 degrees tomorrow. A few clouds try to scoot in overnight. They'll be scattered about, not a big deal. Into the day on Saturday, still plenty of sunshine. We'll continue to see that work on through the region as we head through the rest of Saturday. Here comes, though, that next system working in late Saturday night into Sunday. Will bring the potential for some showers back to the region. That'll drop those temperatures with the clouds in place from the 50s, where we'll be on Saturday, back below average, or right around average. Should be 45 this time of year. Will be 44 on Sunday. The highs on Monday, though, start boosting back up into the lower 50s, and then, well, the roller coaster continues. We're back into the mid-40s as we head for the day on Tuesday. On that 7-day forecast brought to you by Kentucky Farm Bureau, we continue to watch the potential for some of those showers. Working back in through the day on Sunday, we'll be in the mid-40s on Sunday. And really through the middle of next week, one thing we're watching, just these kind of waves of showers pushing through Monday, Tuesday, into Wednesday, even into Thursday. The one thing we'll watch, you notice how we go from 48 on Wednesday to 30 on Wednesday night, back to 41 on Thursday. That's something we'll watch as the pattern is starting to favor a little bit more showery activity and potentially some colder air trying to move in. That's something that we will keep a very close eye on for the next little while. Steve?
Evan, thank you. On this day in history, January 26, 1998, 25 years ago today, President Bill Clinton lied about having sexual relations with former White House intern Monica Lewinsky. Clinton was under fire for having a relationship with Lewinsky and then telling her to lie about it. His denial led to his impeachment in the House in 1999. Clinton was not convicted in the Senate and completed his second term in office.
61% of Americans plan to take measures to boost their credit score over the next 12 months, according to a new report from NerdWallet. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Rachel DePompa speaks with experts about the common credit myths to avoid while working to increase your score.
Credit scores can make or break your finances. They help lenders decide whether you're a good risk. A good score could mean access to a loan, housing, or even a car, which is why it is so important to understand what really impacts your score. According to Kim Palmer, a personal finance expert with NerdWallet, the biggest myth around credit scores is that you need to keep a balance on your credit card and not pay it off because that helps your credit score.
That is a myth. That is not true. You want to try to pay off your balance in full each month. Of course, it's not always possible, and sometimes we do turn to credit cards to help us get through tough times. But in terms of improving your credit score, you want to pay off your balance because that decreases your overall debt load. It also helps you avoid interest payments.
Another myth, a lot of people believe that closing old credit cards that you've had for years and no longer use helps your credit score. That is false.
It helps your credit score to have accounts with a really long history on your credit report. So if you have an old credit card that you're not using much, keep it open, put some recurring expense on it that you are automatically paying every month, because that way you'll have that additional history on your credit report and that boosts your credit score.
Palmer says people also falsely think if you check your own credit score, it hurts your credit. That is not true. It's considered a soft inquiry, and it's a good idea to look at your score. A hard inquiry is when a lender, like a credit card company, checks your credit score. That does have a temporary negative impact on your score, but checking your own score, that's perfectly fine. With this, Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, a couple of Mountain teams played an instant classic at the All-A State Tournament this morning. Sports has the highlights next.
Sponsored by Kentucky Farm Bureau. Big on commitment.
The WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT News app, powered by Appalachian Wireless.
This is a story about purpose. This is a story about progress. About about building on our past accomplishments through our partnerships and investing in innovation. This is a story about empowerment, about building our team and truly listening to our people on the best ways to serve our communities. All of this, combined with our industry-leading insurance, competitive pay rates, and flexible scheduling, is the reason why now is the time to join our team. This is our story. Let it be your story.
Hey folks, I'm Todd Mead of Patriot RV in Georgetown, Ashland, and Prestonsburg. February 2nd through the 5th kicks off the new camping season at the Boat and RV Show in Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. Come see our discounted 22 models and our brand new 23 models. With over 20 banks at our disposal, Patriot RV offers the best financing for anyone. We'll beat any deal by $200 or we'll give you $200 cash back. February 2nd through the 5th at Rupp Arena in Lexington.
Thinking about selling your home in today's more challenging market? Well, you don't have to let it sit for weeks or months trying to sell it the traditional way. At 72 Sold, you can get a price thousands more than if you sold the traditional way and get it done A to Z in just 8 days. Thinking about selling? Just put in your address and get your price, a higher price for your home in just 8 days, only at 72sold.com.
No gear, no plan, no problem. MacGyver.
We love food. It's our thing. You'll notice it all over the store, like how our certified butchers stamp the time your meat was ground, not just the day. Nobody does food like Food City. This week, save on fresh family pack chicken breast tenders, $2.99 a pound. Mix or match blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, or strawberries, 3 for $10. Green Mountain or McCafe coffee, $5.99, and more.
Value every day, Food City.
Have a news tip? Then call the WYMT News Tip line. WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
It's always a joyous occasion when one of our mountain athletes makes the decision to go to the next level. And when it's for the Big Blue, that's just a cherry on top of the sundae. That's the case over in Pikeville. Panther linebacker Carson Wright, seen here forcing a fumble for a scoop and score against Raceland in the state title game, has committed to play for Kentucky. Good to know he's no stranger to Kroger Field for sure. We're hearing he will make it official on National Signing Day. Congratulations to you, Carson. Well, it's always a fun time when two mountain teams square off in a state tournament, and we had one such game at EKU this morning. It was Martin County and Harlan in the first round of the All-A, two of our mountain top 10 teams. Let's pick it up in the first. Luke Hale is going to get the feed and heads to the hoop. Floater is going to be good, so we're all tied up at 5 early. Harlan moving it now. Will Austin getting some space. He's going to hang out the perimeter and knock that 3 right down for the Green Dragons. Now the Cardinals with it here. And check out the ball movement, working it around before Matt Linville pops up a mid-range jumper, and that'll be easily good for the Cards. And they'll keep it on going. This time going low to Jake Sturgill. He makes a series of moves before he decides to play a little Dirk with his feet right there. Nice little mid-range Dirk Nowitzki jumper. It drops. Kyler McClendon, he'll get the feed and pulls one from deep. 3 ball is good right there. And then before half, Cole Trenton up to Jaden Gist, who finishes it off in style just off the backboard. Dragons up 3 at the half, and they come out firing. Austin a Gist for the alley-oop slam. They've been doing that all season long. But Martin County's not going away. Hale will miss right here, but the art of following your shot is always a beaut, and he does right there and gets the foul. 39-37 Harlan after 3, and Caleb McClendon unloads one from way downtown. That was an NBA 3. This one would go down to the wire, but Martin County would escape by the feathers on their wings, winning it 50-49. Harlan missing a shot at the buzzer to fall, and that'll make it 17 straight wins.
Yeah, I'm super proud of them because coming down here, we knew Harlan's top 10, 12 in the state. They're 19-2. We knew it was going to be extremely tough to beat them. But we felt good coming down here. Our guys were loose. They were up before me this morning, so they were ready to play.
Well, 5 of our Mountain teams have taken the court this week in Richmond, and we still have one more to go. WYMT's Nate Johnson joins us now from EKU as Hazard gets set to take the floor. Hey, Nate.
Hey, John, and as you just said, Harlan, Martin County going down to the wire, the Cardinals scraping by, and coming up here at 6:30, Hazard and Bishop Brossette is going to be a good one. Hazard comes into the game on a 14-game win streak and are playing very well. Jamel Hazel leads the way scoring with about 15 a game, and he's had some help from Seth Cotto, who's getting about 14, and Evan Eversol and Lance Smith, who are both going for about 11 a game, so a lot of scoring from the Bulldogs. Add on senior Max Johnson, and this team is very dangerous and has the potential to make a deep run. The Mustangs are led by 3 seniors, Mason Seppet, Brandon Bezold, and Logan Woolsey, all of whom are averaging double-digit points per game.
Well, it's a big challenge. They're a really good ball club. They're big and physical and strong, good guard play, and they beat a good Prowse team a couple nights ago, and we'll have to play really well to play with them.
Well, these two teams, they've played before. Hazard winning an All-A-State title in 2004, beating Bishop, and then they played in 2005, beating Bishop in the first round of the All-A. So no strangers to each other. This one should be good. We'll have highlights tonight at 11 on WYMT. You don't want to miss those. But for now, in Richmond, Nate Johnson, WYMT Mountain Sports. John, back to you.
All right, Nate, have fun at that game. Should be a dandy there at Alumni Coliseum. Hazard and Bishop Brossette. Don't let that 12-7 record fool you. For the Mustangs, the 10th region is tough this year. So that one tips off tonight at 6:30. We'll have highlights on Mountain News at 11, but if you want to watch it live, you're going to have to catch it on Prep Spin. And like I said, we'll have highlights tonight. Also tonight, Auburn and Kentucky at Memorial Coliseum. The Wildcat women's team looking to get back above 500 after falling to Mississippi State earlier this week. So we'll see if they can do that. Tip set for tonight at 7, and you can catch it on SEC Network Plus. And we have a couple of men's basketball games within the Commonwealth. EKU making the trip out to Louisville to take on in-state rival Bellarmine, and Morehead State looking to stay on top of the OVC hosts the Trojans of Little Rock. We'll have highlights of both those games tonight at 11. That's sports. We're back after this.
In 2019, my dad was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and I was afraid of losing him. We know other people who were treated at Pikeville Medical Center, and their lives were saved. When Dad was diagnosed, we knew the Lawson Cancer Center was where he needed to be.
We performed a colonoscopy, and the results were positive. Colorectal cancer is aggressive, so we scheduled surgery immediately.
Daddy was referred to Dr. Denali. We couldn't have asked for a more compassionate doctor.
I promised Harold we would do everything we can for him, beginning with an immediate and comprehensive treatment plan. This is our goal for every patient at the Lawson Cancer Center.
It was important to begin radiation and chemotherapy in a timely manner. He responded very well to treatment.
I couldn't imagine not having my father, my kid's pawpaw, in our lives. He's my daddy, and now he is cancer-free.
Are you tired of the same old cell phone? Want a new phone, but really don't want to pay the hundreds of dollars up front for it? Appalachian Wireless has a deal for you. Get the phone you actually want instead of settling for a cheaper phone with the Appalachian Advantage Plan. Instead of paying $600 or more for the best phone, simply pay the taxes up front and then a few bucks a month more on your monthly bill. Stop by your local Appalachian Wireless store or dealer today for more information. It's the better, simpler way to pay. And it's called the Appalachian Advantage because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Hey, that comes to $1.45.
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, for the cookie. The books are free.
For everybody?
For all undergraduate students. We call it EKU Booksmart.
Let's make that 2 cookies.
On campus, online, delivery, or pickup at EKU. The books are on us.
There is a predator lurking in Kentucky. It destroys families and puts kids at risk. It's called gray machine gambling. These illegal games are spreading like wildfire and could bring dangerous side effects to your neighborhood next. Violence, organized crime, money laundering, robberies. We need Kentucky legislators to act. Visit StopIllegalGamblingKY.com to join the fight. With your help, we can stop gray machine gambling now. Kentuckians Against Illegal Gambling is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Just like your fingerprint, your heartbeat is unique to you. And that's how your heart care should be too. So at Baptist Health, we focus on your specific cardiac needs, from preventive care to some of the most advanced procedures. For your one-of-a-kind heart, choose the one hospital system more people trust for their heart care. Baptist Health. It's heart care centered on you.